Hello, you're listening to Questboard, a podcast where we make up random side quests. My name is Brandon.
And I'm Tiffany. And just so you know, we are not professional writers in any way, shape, or form. At least we don't claim to be. We just really like tabletop RPGs, and we do this for fun.
That's right. Tiffany, I have a bone to pick with you.
I'm sorry?
Update on my campaign. It was like last week.
Mm-hmm.
For the people listening at home, I'll give a quick summary, and then I have a very important question. I decided to then make this session where I give you the monster in the beginning, give you an incident, and now it's your guys to investigate and figure out and kill the thing. That was like, give it to you, you guys figure out from there.
For better reference, this is the Monster of the Week campaign that Brandon is the keeper for.
And so I just tossed in a meat-eating just hulk of a creature.
A chupacabra cousin.
Yeah, it was basically a cousin of the chupacabra. Instead of drinking just blood, it ate meat, so then it had bigger, more proteins.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my thought of like it being just more of a Hulk, but it still like walked around like a chupacabra.
It was the Chad of chupacabras.
Which, if you think about it, it's like more of a spiny, scrangly bear.
Scrawny?
Scrawny. Well, it was kind of like a bear if you think about it. If it's like a
like
chupacabra.
a mangy bear.
Yeah, well, anyways.
Have you ever seen a bear with mange? They look really cool.
Have you seen a bear with no fur? It's creepy.
Mange usually means no fur.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, all their fur falls out.
So I had the bear, I had the creature attack like ranchers that's nearby.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, oh, dead cows. That's a standard like horror monster thing.
Yep, and my character went into full detective mode.
Yes, while two of the other characters went to a dojo, and then another one to look up gossip, and it's just like everyone's gonna believe it's bears,
right?
Because that's what like the news was saying and all that stuff, and it's like, of course they're not gonna know, but like
my character never believes it's bears,
and so eventually, yeah, it was mostly your character that was carrying this on investigation
because that's what she would do.
Yes, but everyone else was role playing of just like I want to go hang out in a dojo and do this and that. But then your character really carried on the investigation, figure out what it is and its weakness of, I give it the weakness of vegetation or being.
It can't stomach vegetables.
Yeah, I thought it would be really funny. And when I initially designed that, I thought, oh, it'd be really fun if you like made look like a stuffed rabbit or something with a scent of meat and you just stuffed it with like lettuce though. And so then my initial plan was like it would pounce on it and then start throwing up, and then it gives you a lot of time of like a lot of free shots.
Well, we initially did like take like some flat meat. I think we pounded it flat or something and wrapped it around vegetables.
You stuffed meatloaf with vegetables.
Pretty much.
But
that's right, we made meatloaf instead.
And then one of our party members said, "Oh, I want a part-time job." I'm like, "Okay."
Yep.
And when I was constructing this car wash job for him, I thought, oh, if he stays late enough, then the creature could go into town and then he could witness a creature attack. And I thought, okay, that I did not initially plan that.
No, but it was a perfect like, oh, it's ramping up.
Yeah, it's like you guys are spending way too long, and so then it's gonna go off and do other things. Initially, my plan was to just stay out in the wilderness, but then I saw that opportunity. I thought, oh, that'd be a great idea. And so I had the bear attack a random couple. God, bear.
It's not a bear.
The bear-like thing to attack a couple and all that stuff. And then he came back home after surviving the attack.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, cool, traumatizing moment. And then you guys, it was your husband. He's like, I'm going to buy a bear trap. I'm like, okay, I did not think about that. And he comes back and you're like, okay, we're going to set up a trap. I'm like, and then put that on there. I'm like, okay, a combination of vegetables and a bear trap. That'll be interesting and all this and that.
Except we didn't set it up in the city. We set it up at our house where the thing had been going through our trash the previous night.
Well, that was how I introduced the monster. But then when he said, yeah, I'm going to just set the trap like 3 feet away from the backside of our house that we're staying in, I'm like, I just had the monster move into town. I can't, like, logically speaking, have it move back.
Right. Why would it come back?
And so
there was no
I introduced like a character that I was planning on introducing, but because your roles on investigating the carcass and the scene and all that stuff were so good, I didn't get a chance for you to fail for me to have this character show up.
Gotcha.
And so I'm like, oh, well, the monster being in the town, this is a good point
Mm-hmm.
in which I basically introduced a cat, a talking cat,
Mm-hmm.
that basically knows what everything is going on that I designed as a hint system for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way to pay for a hint is it wants to make a deal, and it will only do deals individually for like an assist or a tip or a hint.
This is very reminiscent of our previous episode, making deals.
Yeah, did not think about that. But it was just a hint system so that if you guys ever got stuck,
Mm-hmm.
I could give you this hint. And one of the things was like, oh, tell them the hint of the monsters in the city, and I would
it's
tell
not here
like
right now.
where exactly the monster is. And so then all you guys come out, and then you're talking and all that stuff. You guys did not trust this thing at all.
Nope.
And I was like, only one of you can make a deal. It just needs one of you to make a deal for a future favor. It was just purely a future favor kind of thing. And you guys vocally was like distrustful, did not like it, and all that stuff. And then all of a sudden, you guys all to like, we each make a deal. We all promise a deal. And I'm like, I did not expect that at all. And so then I'm like, okay, well, that requires 4 separate favors because I've set it up where
Mm-hmm.
each one is a assist or a hint.
Mm-hmm.
And so I gave you the hints, gave you locations, gave you some other assistance for equivalent to them each of the deal and all that stuff.
Shotgun.
You guys got the monster. You basically like had the bear trap
Mm-hmm.
clapped on and then
We tied the bear
connected to
trap
the back of the truck, and you guys just shot at it while it was being dragged throughout town.
We essentially lynched it.
Yeah, and it's just like that was funny and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I was very confused of why did all of you make the deal?
Well, it started out as stranger danger and then turned into we're a family, we do things together. So if we're going to make this deal, we're all going to make this deal.
I mean,
Never-
it's your choice. It's player choice, but
Yeah.
that was my
Never
initial
underestimate the power of family.
thing. Okay, Vin Diesel, calm down. But I was like, okay, so, and also they realized after they make the deal that the cat transforms into a raven and flies off. And it's
Yeah.
like, oh, this is a shapeshifter. This thing appears and disappears like a Cheshire cat
Mhm.
from Alice in Wonderland, and it could turn into other things.
I mean, the whole time we were talking to it, I was just imagining the music from Courage the Cowardly Dog every time that one fox shows up.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Well, now you can play that whenever the cat shows up.
Well, if the cat shows up, I initially thought, okay, when I did this, I give you guys 4 hints, and then after all you make a deal, then I could turn the cat into a monster encounter all on its own. But I didn't think that far because I'm like, oh, I have plenty of time. They won't all make a deal.
We all made a deal.
I was like, okay, this is something I could like set aside for me to think about in the future.
I
But
mean, you could always bring him back.
I am planning on bringing him back. I
Oh,
just
good.
don't know when or what's going to happen
I
because
like-
I still need to think of what's going to happen.
I really like him. He's super untrusting or untrustworthy.
Well, yeah, and
That
that's
one.
why I thought, oh, they will all make a deal.
The funny thing is, the whole time I really wanted to make a deal. I wanted to make a deal so bad, but I'm like, she would be so skeptical of this cat.
Your husband didn't like anything a part of the deal, and like he wanted stipulations and like all that stuff. And it's
Do
just
you
like,
not remember in our Spelljammers campaign how big of a deal he made out of the fact that your character killed one of our crew members?
oh yeah,
Yeah. He's gonna latch on to that. If he doesn't trust something,
yeah.
he's
But
gonna
then
have
why
an
did he make
issue.
the deal then? When all I asked was a single person to make a deal. It was just so weird because it was against, and then all of a sudden everyone's on board. I was like, well, I'm gonna play the characters. I'm like, okay.
It turned into if one of us is going to make this deal, then we're all going to make this deal because we're not going to let our siblings make this deal without all of us being
I
in on
understand
this.
you guys had no idea what my initial
Yeah, we had no
intent
idea.
was.
Nope, nothing.
But I thought it was just so funny.
It was
this
funny.
truly proves like if you have something planned out as like a hint system,
Oh, yeah.
your players are going to find a way to just screw it up. And it's like, well,
Yes.
I don't have another way of giving you a hint system
Yeah.
unless I think of something new.
Yep.
So right now you guys are on your own until I can think of a better hint system, which I can't think of any right now.
Well, I mean, in the future, you can just have the cat be like, okay, that was too much. only one is allowed to make a deal at a time.
No, you guys made a deal with a shape-shifting magical cat or whatever it is. You gotta pay the consequences now.
Mm-hmm.
I just need to figure out what that consequence is.
Yay.
Anyways, I was really in need off that chest of like, why, guys?
Why?
And so I thought I'd do that on our podcast.
So the world can hear.
Sure. About my frustrations.
Yeah.
Anyways, we have our normal quest board posting that we're going to make a quest out of.
Back to the original.
So, do you have a D100?
I have a D10 and a D100. I have dice.
You know what I mean. Shush. Roll them.
54. We've done that one already, I know.
I have a feeling we've done
We've
that.
done all the 50s.
Yes, we have. That
Yeah.
is... Oh, the needs a bouncer. The tavern needs a bouncer. That
Quaff
is
Fest.
Quaff Life 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was episode 14. Do you want to go up or down?
Let's go up.
Okay, I'm not going to read all of them, but the next one up is number 60,
Okay.
which is a short one.
Oh, good.
My family is about to find out about my secret. Good liars and problem solvers needed, or in need.
It means the same thing.
Yes, I like to paraphrase.
Uh-huh.
So, this is a finding out the secret. Oh, we could come up with a fantasy secret.
Well, I was thinking, this is a changeling. The family's about to find out that their actual child was kidnapped a long time ago and replaced with a changeling. And they're like, help me make them not think that.
Okay, I was thinking for the term family being like in-laws or future in-laws.
Oh, there's another
Because
thought.
I thought the secret was going to be, I'm 3 goblins in a trench coat. That's a little overused, though.
I know, that's funny. That's a really easy secret to find out.
I don't know. I feel like, can we try for attempt of, I think changeling and 3 goblins / kobolds in a trench coat is a little bit overused. How
Yeah.
about we try figure out a unique secret?
Unique secret.
Both of us went very generic.
We did. Like, mine's a classic, Fae kidnapping a child, replacing the changeling. That's a classic.
Yes. And mine is just a standard joke in the D&D community.
Yes, but a good one. So what's a good secret? Also, what type of world do we want this to be in? Because nothing about this says it has to be D&D.
This is a generic one, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like if we go in the fantasy realm, we could think of a very unique and funny secret.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
Because it could be anything in a fantasy world.
A horse that's polymorphed into a human.
Okay.
But like permanent polymorph.
Backpacking off of that, if we do also the in-laws or anything like that with fiance,
Yeah.
it's really that she is a centaur, but she got the both human halves of her parents from each of her parents.
Okay.
Because we've joked around about the centaur, but for a horse that could talk and
You're
all that
right.
stuff. What happens if we do the exact
That's her brother.
That's her brother?
Yeah.
But we do the exact opposite where she's like, my secret is my immediate family are all centaurs and horses, basically.
Yeah.
And I am a human. I'm technically a centaur.
Yeah, I just look like a human. I'm okay with that. And so she's marrying into a family. She absolutely loves her fiance,
but
her parents are kind of racist against centaurs.
I was going to say they're purists, where it's like, okay, should we do a male fiance or a female fiance?
I like the idea of she's marrying into his family.
Yeah, it'll be funnier if it's him because there's that stereotype of like the mother of the groom.
Yeah.
Is very
mother-in-law. Well, actually, it's always the mother-in-law. I have a fantastic mother-in-law.
But it's very
I'm not
much a
just
stereotype.
saying that, by the way. She's awesome.
I don't have a gun pointed at my head or anything.
You've met her, right? Or have you?
I've met her once.
Okay.
And that wasn't even at the wedding.
Oh, yeah, you were there.
Wow. I had such an impact.
I mean, I invited you, but I remember that part.
It'd be funny if, like, the man's parents is going to be super like purist. Human as well.
Yeah.
Just I don't want my son dating an elf or like a dwarf or
they're just racist against
racist.
All other races.
Yeah, all other fantasy races.
Purist, only humans,
yeah.
And she really passes for a human.
What happens if like he is somewhat lesser noble or something? So they are very conscious.
I was thinking like a duke and a duchess, and it's their son. I don't know what you would call the son of a duke.
But he's still like duke level like family.
Yeah.
So he would get the same powers as a duke.
Right.
But I don't think like because she can't have any power or anything as a centaur.
No, she'd be like a commoner, essentially. Just
Yeah.
a plain human. Like, no centaur abilities. All centaur abilities are based around the horse half. So she doesn't have that. She only has
But the
human
problem
stats.
is with like dukes is usually like you want your kids either arranged marriage or them choosing, but it's someone also within the same power level.
Right. But
nobility.
maybe they're not classist. They're only racist. And so they're like, you can choose
Well, that's why
whoever you want to marry as long as she's human.
That's why if we do lesser, like super bomber level noble,
Gotcha.
then it's like they don't have as much of an excuse.
Baron? Is that lower than a duke?
Lord?
Lord.
Okay. Lord is usually like
Yeah,
lower than
they're just
Baron.
in charge of a small area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how they met. Is like it's near like a forest or plains.
Yeah,
area.
maybe she was just out gathering herbs one day and he sees her perfectly silhouetted in a beautiful clearing. This is all backstory.
Yeah.
With the sun shining at just the right angle and her glorious chestnut hair is just flowing in the wind.
Sure.
I read a lot of books, okay?
We're not gonna talk about what kind of books,
Nope.
but okay. So it's going to be where his mom, mostly his mom. Actually, let's give them names.
Okay. Who are we naming first?
Let's name the centaur girl.
Okay.
The
Flora.
centaur, Flora, and she's marrying.
Wait. Is she a winter?
No, because she's not.
Oh,
a
no, they were
lycanthrope.
minotaurs. No,
Winter was minotaurs. Yes.
Yeah, winter was minotaurs. Never mind, not centaurs. Never mind. Wrong tars.
That's racist.
Okay, they have a Flora.
Flora is marrying.
What's her last name? I'm just going with Ware. Ware. Because
What?
that's what's on this list is Flora Ware.
Sure. When you say it out loud, it's kind of silly.
Yeah. Okay, Flora Rose then.
Yeah. Okay. And she is marrying.
Okay, so the last name of the Lord and Lady is Bowers.
Okay. So Jack Bauer.
I don't understand this reference.
I feel like that is a name I should recognize. I just can't remember where exactly it's from.
Cool. You know what? Let's just call him Jack for fun.
I had to look it up. Jack Bauer is the protagonist for the show 24, which I never watched. So Jack, and I just realized that the last name is Rose.
We're going with it.
Okay. So Jack Bowers
Yeah.
and
Reed
Sue-
is the dad.
okay, Reed. And what's the mom?
Verity.
Verity?
Mhm.
Okay. So Verity is mostly maybe Verity is like
Maybe she's the one that is from like, the long line of lords and ladies. And Reed actually married into her family and took her last name. So she's the uppity one. And he's
Okay.
the one that
but still on the lower end.
yeah. Like he's not as racist as she is.
She's very racist.
This
I'm sorry if your name is Verity.
No, I'm sorry to anyone who shares any of the names of the characters. in
And
our
she
stories.
also probably married Reed because like instead of through love or anything like that, it was like
It was probably arranged.
he was a good position for basically either to advance the town and make the land more prosperous, or
Yeah.
he was well liked amongst the people just to quell the unrest or anything like that.
Yeah, it was all a marriage of station, not
He
a
didn't-
marriage of love.
Yeah.
Which is why he's actually pressing to let their son pick whoever.
Or maybe he was very passive. He's just like, oh, she's fine. Kind of, and she's like, that's when
Mm-hmm.
he could be very like, if he wants to marry an elf, and then she would just snap at him.
Nope.
And it's like, oh, okay. But yeah, she'll be the super racist one, and that will make Flora super tense.
Yes.
And then, like,
because they're insisting that they get to meet her family.
and then that's like, as they are already engaged,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, well, we need a rehearsal done, your family needs to come. And it's
Mhm.
like,
Yeah, well, 'cause she was kind of hoping till after the wedding to
Oh.
break that to them.
Then when the party, she's going to be like, you're going to play my family.
But what if none of them are human?
Can you play, like, disguise yourself as humans?
Oh my gosh, yes.
I'll take anyone who could keep a secret.
Maybe she actually knows, like, it's disguise self. Can you use that on other people?
There's disguise kits.
Oh yeah, disguise kit.
That's
I
a tool
thought you were
set.
talking about a spell, and I was very confused.
Well, disguise person, or it's a level 1 spell, but I don't know if it's on other people.
Yeah, it's called disguise self.
Yes. But there is a cantrip of minor illusion if you just want to
True,
take away
just
the
on the
ears.
ears.
Yeah.
That's true.
For an elf.
Mm-hmm.
But you could also like do disguise kit, like toolkits.
Yeah, that kind of shenaniganry.
Yes. But then the party would just try to act as Flora's family.
Surprise,
It
one of them is
tried to-
actually an Aarakocra. That wouldn't work.
God, then we will pull the Shrek 2 where Verity is like actually half or has some blood of
Mm-hmm.
something that's not human,
Mm-hmm.
because Fiona's dad is
Yeah.
also like a toad.
I
or frog.
remember that. He was the Frog Prince.
Yeah. So is there anything else to add? We're just like, okay, you
It's
get
really
to
just
play as the
like-
family, and this is all improv
like performance
funny.
checks constantly, and then like
Deception check.
deception or performance, depending on what they want to roll with.
Yeah. But yeah, this is a lot of just funny improv.
Yeah, it's gonna be a blast. So really, it's like the DM just gets to plan out a wedding, just the basic bare bones. Here's how it's gonna go. Here's the schedule, and what's gonna happen next. And then it's just all the party pretending to be her family throughout, like the rehearsal and then the actual event.
Yeah. And whoever pretends to be her dad has to walk her down the aisle.
Aww. Because like her actual parents probably know what's going on, or do you think they know it all? Are
No,
they gonna
don't know.
crash the wedding?
Oh, we could add that like twist
Mm-hmm.
where she just wants to cut all ties because she's like, I just want to live like a normal human because she looks like a normal human.
Yeah.
And then
And she doesn't like the politics of the centaur herd, because maybe a lot of them look down on her for not having 4 legs.
no, I think maybe this is just a Ariel from Little Mermaid situation where it's just like, I want to be part of your world.
Part of your world.
Copyright, please.
Uh,
But that kind of situation, maybe this will cause the death of her father. I don't know.
oh no!
God,
no, please
Ariel's
no.
such a horrible princess, by the way. She is.
Okay, so if the party manages to get through the rehearsal without a hitch, then the wedding will go off without a hitch as well.
No, it'll be like rehearsal. That'll be the event, right? That's all lying and all that stuff. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
yeah, we got through. That night, or this could be like a couple days later, but in between
Mm-hmm.
the rehearsal dinner to the wedding event,
It's usually the day before.
depends on the family.
Okay, yeah, you know what? Big, much ado about nothing type situation. It
So-
can be a couple days.
That's when Flora's brother's gonna show up that looks like just purely a horse that will
Mhm.
talk to her.
Be like, hey, Flora, what's up?
And then
They know.
that's how the Flora and the party's gonna find out that Flora's parents are coming.
Mm-hmm. It's like,
And then
her
she's like-
brother is not gonna be like, he's not gonna care one way or another. He's happy that she's
No,
happy.
he's oblivious that she's lying.
oh,
He's
okay.
gonna be like, oh, well, yeah, we heard I came first. Like, mom and dad are gonna be coming in. We're gonna celebrate your wedding, and we're so excited. And she's gonna be
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh, yeah.
Oh, yay!
Huddle.
Yeah, get the party in. We're like, okay, so now we need to fake the wedding for
do
them.
That's up to them.
2 weddings.
That's a good idea.
Yeah,
But that is up to the party to figure out, not us.
yeah. And then
But
the
I
party
was gonna
gets to
be
play the groom's parents.
The party is then going to decide how they're going to handle Flora's family
Yeah.
and not interrupt her actual wedding, either through a fake wedding or whatever. It's their decision.
Mm-hmm.
They just can't harm or kill or do anything bad to Flora's family. So that's the stipulation they have to come up with.
Murders. That's really hard for D&D
So
players.
that is up to them.
Yes.
If they can't think of anything, then you could pull off the like, okay, we could make a quick second wedding. They think that I'm marrying one of you guys, and then you have to play the other side part.
No,
and
no,
then you have to play my part.
her
on the actual
fiance
wedding.
could totally be in on it.
She's hiding this from the fiance as well. This is very much she's hiding the fact that she's a centaur.
I feel like he'd be fully okay with it. He wouldn't care one way or another. Of course, their child might be born with hooves.
I think this is like she's really just trying to hold the secret,
Yeah.
and like Little Mermaid approach,
Okay.
where it's just like
She's keeping it
does
from
not,
him as well.
Yes, because she just wants to
Oh
be a
man,
part
what's
of
he
that
gonna
world.
do when he finds out though? Is he going to be like, I don't want any of that, or
Well,
is he
that's
gonna?
if the party fails.
Yeah, if the party fails,
That is,
or is he gonna love her unconditionally for who she is, not what she is?
if I was a DM, I would just like either roll or you get to decide.
Yeah, or
DM.
break the chain of racism.
That is up for the DM in their world.
Yes.
So,
Do you want a happily ever after, or do you want a
I
scorned
don't-
lover?
I don't want to put the limits on them
No,
because they
not
can
at
make
all.
the world however
That's
they
true.
want.
So yeah, DM's choice on that one.
That's the fail condition.
Yes.
If the party fails to cover up to successfully lie,
Mhm.
then it will lead to that point.
Mhm.
But yeah, this is just a funny, stupid
It
quest.
really is. I love it.
Is there anything else you want to add?
No, I think that's a pretty good round quest that has a lot of potential for humor.
And a lot of ad libs and
Yes.
improv.
It's a lot depending on the party.
Yes.
Most things are, though.
Like we say a lot, but this one we can't really plan for anything.
It's like you can't make plans. As you said earlier, your party's just going to ruin them.
Well, you should have plans if it's like a general direction.
Well, yes. If this, then that. But in the meantime,
But if something like you got to come up with a way to deal with the Centaur family, that is so open-ended you can't plan for that.
Right.
So all you have to do is just set up the problem for them to solve. We already know the fail condition.
Yes.
So if they make it, they make it. If they don't, they don't.
And just put in your notes, chaos ensues.
Well, it depends. But yes, chaos from the mother-in-law. Yes.
Oh, gosh, yes.
Anyways, if you put this in your campaign, please let us know what happens.
I'm excited.
I want to hear all the stupid, crazy schemes that your party comes up with.
All the juicy details.
You can let us know either on this YouTube video down in the comments, on X at QuestBoardPod, or on Blue Sky at QuestBoard. If you have something for a posting of your own that's somewhat like this, because this was like good direction, but open enough that we came up with something stupid, let us know on any of those platforms, and maybe it'll be in a future episode. I think with that, I wish you all a good night.
And happy questing.